Under pressure, most of us tend to make more mistakes and perform worse than we do in the practice room. But what if I told you it didn't have to be like this? What if you could not only perform more like yourself under pressure, but it wouldn't take nearly as much time or effort as you might think? In this video, we'll look at a study where high-level basketball players were put through a practice protocol that didn't just enable them to maintain their performance under pressure, but perform even better when the stakes were higher. We'll walk through what the practice protocol looked like, how long it took to see results, and how you can integrate this into your own music practice. Whether it's performing a concerto in front of an audience, making a critical shot at the end of a game, or parallel parking on a busy street with a line of cars waiting impatiently behind us, we often perform worse when the nerves and anxiety kick in. But a pair of Dutch researchers wondered if this was truly inevitable, or if we could learn to perform better under pressure if we trained with a little bit of anxiety more frequently. Kind of like getting the flu shot to expose ourselves to a tiny bit of the flu virus to strengthen our immunity. For the experiment, the researchers recruited 2 Dutch national-level basketball teams. Both teams started off with a test of their free throw shooting abilities under regular, no-pressure practice conditions. Then they repeated the test, but with some pressure thrown in. Each team was split into 2 smaller teams, which competed against each other for some prize money. Their shooting performance was also videotaped, and they were told that experts would be reviewing the footage to evaluate their shooting technique. The coach and the other players also watched each shooter throughout the test. After establishing their baseline free throw shooting score, both teams took part in 9 practice sessions over the next 5 weeks. Players on both teams attempted a total of 96 free throws over the course of the practice period, or about 10 extra practice free throws per practice. One team practiced their free throws in normal, practice-like settings, but the other team practiced their free throws under the same anxiety-inducing conditions as their initial test. After the 9 practice sessions, the athletes redid the shooting tests they did at the start of the study. 96 free throws over the course of 9 regular practice sessions is not a whole lot of additional practice. So the big question is, did this tiny bit of practice with pressure have any impact on shooting performance? The short answer is that it absolutely did. After 5 weeks of training, the team that practiced normally still performed worse under pressure. However, the group that practiced free throws with anxiety not only avoided a drop in performance under pressure, they actually performed even better under pressure, going from 71 points with no anxiety to 78 points with anxiety. So what could this mean for our own practice and performance? Well, it's really tempting to look for ways to bring the practice room to the stage, to see if we can find ways to calm down and feel on stage like we do every day in the practice room. But many great performers have said that this doesn't really work, that we're better off trying to bring the stage to the practice room, and to get more comfortable feeling uncomfortable during our daily preparation. And studies like this one suggest that they're absolutely right. Whether it's recording yourself a tiny bit every day, or playing for friends or colleagues or teachers and mentors, finding ways to manufacture a tiny bit of anxiety and giving ourselves frequent opportunities to practice performing in pressure situations can help us get more comfortable being uncomfortable and make it easier to embrace the nerves and perform our best when it counts. Of course, we all know that we should be doing this sort of thing, but I suspect we tend to avoid performance practice because we believe we have to expose ourselves to big doses of performance practice. It's like taking your vitamins. When I was a kid, my mom would try to make me take these vitamin pills that were gigantic and would make me gag or throw up and just be painful to try to get down. But then she found some Flintstones vitamins that she could cut up into tiny pieces or that I could even chew, and I was much more willing to take those. So if performance practice feels like that giant, painful vitamin pill, we're going to put it off and avoid it. And even if we do manage to push ourselves to do it, it's not going to be a very good experience, so we're not going to want to do it again. But if we do performance practice in tiny, manageable doses, it'll probably be a much more positive experience, making it easier to get ourselves to do it more frequently, which is the whole point. If you'd like more ways to shrink the gap between practice and performance, check out the free 7-day practice course I put together called Pressure Proof. You'll learn additional research-based practice strategies that will not only help you improve more rapidly from one day to the next, but perform more confidently on stage as well. The sign-up link is in the description below.